Hello everybody, and welcome to the third installment of How to Treat and Cure Glue Ear. I'm your host, Drew Pizzulo, once again. I have had this chronic problem basically all of my life, and I have been going through what works and what doesn't work, and since my latest ear problem and infection, I want to give you an update on basically what it has progressed to and how to treat it and the new things that are out there that I'm going to be trying as well to save to you for my next episode. Okay, so the first thing I always told you to do when you have a head cold, for those of us who have small eustachian tubes and have problems with their ears, is to be on antibiotics. That's the first thing that anybody, first offense, and that is very true. There's a catch-22 with it. The more you're on antibiotics, especially a penicillin-based antibiotic, such as amoxicillin or augmentin, which they come in two really types of strengths. They either come in 500 milligram or 650 milligram is the two I know of that are most commonly used. The problem is after a while, the body will start to get used to them, and they will not be as effective. So as the body becomes basically immune, because especially if they're used too often, the antibiotics may not work as well. Therefore, you still could get an infection. Therefore, you would have to go to a stronger anti-penicillin-based antibiotic. And the one that they do recommend, especially my doctor has switched me to CLINDAMYCIN. Show that for you. And that is specifically because it is much stronger. It takes care of a lot more strains of viruses as well as bacterial type problems that go up into your ear. Again, it's more for bacterial infections. Viruses it's not going to do as well for, but it does prevent an infection from happening. It is a stronger antibiotic. It doesn't really have that many side effects. I didn't find really any side effects to it, just like I didn't find any side effects to augmentin or amoxicillin. But again, that's just me. Everybody's body is different. So with those out of the way, prednisone, I had mentioned in previous episodes, that still is a must. And the way you treat it, again, if you have the ear infection or the head cold coming on and it's going uphill, throw 6 a day, 3 in the morning, 3 at night, and stay on that and wane it off, usually from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, as soon as you find the infection or the head cold subsiding. You're not meant to be on this long term. It's only for when you have the actual head cold. And again, it has to have a doctor's prescription. So you do have to realize that as well. In terms of steroids, if it does get past to the point where it overwhelms the prednisone, even taking 60 milligrams per day, you could go to the doctor and he may give you an oral injection of a steroid, usually through the butt. And it's the most common thing they do for a severe sinusitis in the ears is they give you depomedrol and Decadron, which is half and half. And the Decadron is meant to start working within the first 20 minutes, and that usually lasts for about 24 hours. The depomedrol can last up to 2 weeks. That is the long-acting steroid. So they give you a combination of a short and a long-acting steroid. That's, again, if you either go to the doctor or you end up going to the ER because it's so bad. That's what they're going to give you instant relief and long-term relief as the head cold subsides. Usually when I get that shot, the head cold starts from going uphill, it starts going back downhill. So that always usually works for me. Again, that's just me. I'm only talking for myself. Let's talk nose sprays for a sec. Nose spray is the most, obviously, if you're having a head cold and it's getting, I like to rate it from 1 to 10. If it gets beyond that 6.5 level, you're on a 7 and above, that's when I start heading for Afrin. I've mentioned this in previous episodes as well. And the reason you want Afrin is because it gives you instant relief. There's two types of Afrin. You could either have it by, this is more of the nasal spray that's more like a saline spray with this type of injector in it, or you can have the pump spray, which it comes in as well. Both do about the same. Both are good for 12 hours, and both you cannot take for more than 3 days. Now, keep in mind with Afrin, you're going to have a rebound effect. No matter if you take it for up to 3 days or not. Unfortunately, you're going to have that. Usually my head colds last about 2 weeks. So I know after I take Afrin, I'm going to be feeling it. Usually you feel it right up here as it wears off. It's called the rebound effect of Afrin. If you take it for more than 3 days, you're going to have even a further problem. So please do not take it for more than 3 days. But it does give you instant relief when you have the head cold. All of a sudden you can hear, it clears out, shrinks the membranes, and all of a sudden you can eat, you can hear, and it gets you through the worst part of the head cold if it gets that bad. Try not to, use it as a last resort, because again, you're going to have that rebound effect and it's going to last about 2 days, and it does give you that sinus pressure up in your nose where you have to keep taking other nose sprays. Try to avoid it if you can, but if you can't, it is your last resort. I try to use nose sprays like FLONASE because it's a much less effect. There's 1,000 of them, MUCINEX, FLONASE, Veramist, they all do the same thing. They're more towards just more drying up the congestion and trying to get it out. So those type of nose sprays don't have the rebound effect, and they are more effective just so you can breathe and clear your sinuses out. But they aren't as strong as Afrin. Afrin will work better, but these are better for the long-term effect, especially if you're dealing with allergies, along with a head cold or a sinus congestion as well. Another type of nose spray that is used as a preventative for head colds that I have found is pretty successful and does work as a nose spray as well in clearing congestion is ZICAM. All ZICAM is zinc. Zinc is very effective. You shoot it up into your nose. It's a natural ingredient that does wonders, does shorten head colds. You can get ZICAM in a variety of ways. They have it in swabs, they have it in the nose spray, and they have it now in the medicated fruit drops or the gummies. So you can take 2 of these at once. It really won't hurt you. But they now have a variety of ways that ZICAM is effective, and it is effective. It does work. It does help shorten the head cold. It won't cure the head cold. Usually if the head cold's coming, it's coming. So as a preventative, it's always good to use ZICAM as a nose spray. You can use it with the FLONASE. That's still not going to hurt you. You can even use it with Afrin. They're 2 different things. This is zinc. These are medications, 2 totally different things. Natural and medicated. So you got 2 very, very different things. Speaking of all natural types of things, I've told you in previous episodes to use garlic. It works as an anti-biotic, and it clears out your system as well. And you probably also drop 5 to 10 pounds because of all that crap that's in your stomach that it goes through. And to use sauerkraut, and that is still the case. These 2 things do work well in conjunction with each other. This will boost your immune system, as will, as you know, vitamin C. You guys drink plenty of orange juice. You have to boost your immune system to get over the head cold quicker. That is always going to help you out. And they have vitamin C tablets. These are about like $2.99 at CVS, which is now on Target. It doesn't cost that much. These 2 things cost about the same thing, about $3 each. And it is good for your health, and it does boost your immune system, which is something that obviously you're going to need. Another thing that is a good, it does work for some people. I've had moderate success. This was in my last episode. Okay, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but it's called COPPERZAP. And I tried this. You take it and you swab it up your nose when you feel a head cold coming on. It is copper. Copper, again, another natural periodic table element, just like zinc. And the theory is it's supposed to shorten or prevent your head cold. Moderate success. A couple times I have it coming on. I've done it. Kind of went away. But I don't know. I don't really have facts for you how well it works, because if you're going to get a head cold, most of the time you're getting it no matter what you do. It's how to shorten it and treat it most effectively. So, but COPPERZAP, they are about $69 for this piece of copper, and there are ways to do it. They do give you instructions as well. So it's worth a try. Again, for some people it works better than others. I'm just giving you my experience, moderate success. Also, you're going to need MUCINEX. Guys, I've had this, there we go, in previous episodes as well. And you can either take it orally with the 12 or 24-hour tablets, or you can take it through the new MUCINEX Max, which is the liquid version, which I think actually works better because liquid does get into your bloodstream and body faster. So I just wanted to point that out to you as well. MUCINEX brings out the mucus and gets it out of your system. So that is a good thing to have as well. Also, a couple other things you may want to do. I would invest, if I were you, in what is called a foot bath. Ivation makes the most common type of foot bath, and that's kind of what they look like right there. Foot baths are good, especially for people who want to get the toxins out of their system, and the easiest way to do it is through the feet. That's why you have reflexology is becoming so popular and popping up all over the place, because it is an ancient Chinese medicine form of relief that does get the toxins out of your body. This I usually put anywhere between 105 degrees to 108 degrees. That's usually where it's hot but not too hot. Put some Epsom salt in it, and you're supposed to soak it for about an hour. You do this once a week. If you're sick, you can do it every night. It'll help get the toxins out, and it'll help clear that head cold out a lot quicker, and it boosts your immune system as well. These cost about, I don't know, anywhere between $100 and $125. They do have the roller wheels inside here, the buttons over here that control whether you just want the bubbles or you just want the rollers. And it's almost like a jacuzzi for your feet if you don't have a hot tub for yourself, and most people don't. So that's something I recommend as well. And the final thing I want to talk to you about is the latest medical procedure that they have out there, especially when if you have a chronic disorder like I have with my ears. It is also known as an autoimmune deficiency. And there's now new types of treatments for autoimmune deficiencies, and I'm not talking about the tubes in your ears. That is probably, in my opinion, the worst thing you could possibly do, especially if you're an adult, to try to treat a problem with glue ear or an ear infection problem that I currently have. And I've pretty much done every procedure there is. I wouldn't recommend the trying to expand your eustachian tubes with, there's a device that they can put into you. It's almost like they blow it up like a balloon and try to expand your eustachian tubes. I wouldn't recommend that either. Too many things can go wrong. But I am going to try a procedure, and it is stem cells. The stem cell procedure is where they take your own cells. They can either take it from two parts of your body, most commonly from the stomach or the back of the hip, in which they like to go for bone marrow, and they use your own cells to repair yourself. And it actually would, there's been a lot of cases where it does repair the eustachian tubes and make them function more properly. I've been told my eustachian tubes, when my hearing in my ears, when I'm not sick, work at around 85%. When I am sick, it works about 60%. When you do a stem cell treatment, it's supposed to boost it anywhere between 20 and 30 percentage points. So I could go anywhere between 80 and 90% when I'm sick, and about 95 when I'm healthy. And that means they drain more consistently, they're working more functionally, and your head colds aren't as long and they aren't as bad. That is the theory. My next episode, I will let you know if that theory holds true and if I have improvement on it and what my effects are as well. There's a lot of good proposed side effects to a stem cell treatment. The treatment itself shouldn't take long. If they're going to do bone marrow, which they're doing in me, in the back of the hip, usually takes 6 to 8 minutes for the procedure is what they're telling me, and I'm going to have it then, they siphon it through and they put it through an IV, and that takes about 45 minutes, and it's usually one treatment. Be careful on price, guys. There's a lot of places you can get it done. My own sister has had it done in Mexico to very, very successful success. It's cheaper there. It's around $4,000 in Mexico. Here in the U.S., I've been contacted by a lot of doctors. I've done a lot of research on it. It ranges anywhere between $5,000 and $12,000 is the highest I have been quoted. And the doctors all have their own opinions on what works best for you. My suggestion is go with your gut. My personal opinion is I think stem cells from your own body is the only thing that can cure your own body. There are some doctors who believe that a stem cell from a placenta, that's an unborn placenta, there's different ways that they get them FDA approved, and they do believe, since they have no DNA code, that can help you replenish your body to the condition it's supposed to be in. That may be true. I'm just not a big believer in using somebody else's stem cells to try to cure your own. What happens if your body rejects it or doesn't recognize it for some reason? A lot of things can go wrong. It's not going to reject your own stem cells, because as you get older, you do have fewer stem cells, but you try to do it. That's why they do the bone marrow, and get more for your money as well. It is an expensive procedure, and it is $5,000 every time you do it. The good part is, after the first time you do it, they say it has fantastic results. You won't see the results usually to 4 to 8 weeks after it's done. It has to get into your body and work your way through and improve your body gradually. So my next episode will probably be, since this is March now, will probably be around May or June to let you know if it's better for your ears, your eyes, your nose, your sinuses in general. Obviously, how it works for people with autoimmune deficiencies. Thank you, everybody. I think I've hit every topic that I wanted to go over with you today to update you on the latest that's being done in this area. Again, I'm no doctor. I'm just a constant patient of this terrible autoimmune deficiency that leads to chronic ear problems, and I know a lot of people have the same problem. My first video has almost like 160,000 hits, so I must have caught somebody's attention there, because there's a lot of things that people can do. And please take my advice and realize that everybody's body is different. The way it works for somebody's body may not be the same as it works for mine. I'm just telling you what worked for me, and these things are out there as well, whether it's all natural, or it's on the medication side, or the different type of treatments like stem cells, which I'm going to try and I will report on back to you. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today, and I will see you on the next episode for my ear, the glue ear series, part 4. Have a great day.